Mayor, let's go to, before we will be receiving text messages and callers on standby na tayo, may mga callers and then text messages. Your take on this international scene, take this ongoing war sa Russia and Ukraine. What is your opinion?
Pastor, this came about because of the insecurity of Russia. They wanted to have a buffer. And that buffer was really Ukraine because it is a neighbor sa Russia. Above it is really Belarus. Ang problema kasi nito, because Putin was all along thinking that America would eventually convince Ukraine to join NATO. If it becomes a NATO member, makapaglagay na ng armas ang Amerika doon sa kanilang lupa.
Very close.
Because being a NATO member. And that was what Putin was trying to stop. But suddenly, so instead of just talking, he overran the country and invaded it. And my God, I have never, in my lifetime now, sa generation ko, sa generation natin, so much destruction perpetrated by another nation upon so ang problema niyan, Pastor, Putin has to decide. He is between the devil and the deep blue sea. Alam mo bakit? In waging war against Ukraine, he committed so many errors there, including violations widespread of not only human rights, you can take it away, but perpetrated war crimes, killing civilians, and bombing cities. Nary care about who will get killed or hurt. And I think that America, with the rest of the NATO countries, in the end, would go for his war crimes prosecution. Yan ang mahirap. So, he is there right now. Dumating na siya dyan sa curve. Pag gano'n na, so, when it goes down, eventually he has to choose between the... Putin is my friend. I visited him in Russia. But I do not agree with what he did. I do not, just go on and try to take a country by force and bombing indiscriminately every place there, killing innocent civilians. So it's just not a matter of Putin trying to find a solution to stop the war. He has to convince a lot of people, including the NATO members, that, alam mo, sinira niya eh. He has devastated Ukraine. Somebody has to pay for this. And it could only be paid by the Russians. And more than that, ito ngayong NATO members are going after the neck of Putin. America, I'm sure, would insist on his prosecution for war crimes. So, ano na siya? He has crossed the line. Bumbaw siyang bomba siya ng a barrage of bombs and cannonballs and everything, hitting civilian targets, including residential, killing children, old women, men, and everything. It's a classic case of a terror. Mahirap sa kanya.
We have entered, I think, a very dangerous phase already in this war, Mayor. It's now almost a year. So, if Putin will not accept defeat, will it accelerate into like a nuclear war?
I do not know until now whether the Ukrainians would go beyond its border and go inside Russia. America is trying to control that kind of thinking or paradigm because it will create war against all nations. Because they would not allow, for example, Moscow to be occupied by the Ukrainians, but the Ukrainians are really going after his neck. And I do not know if President Zelensky would just be content with stopping at the borders. Hanggang dyan lang tayo. Huwag na tayo, do not cross. Maybe America would like it to be that way. Ang problema ngayon, ang atraso niya sa nasira niya. Because the Ukrainians would start to ask, who's going to rebuild our cities, to build our homes again? Somebody has to answer for this carnage. And, so, it has to be, he represents a country, but ultimately it would be his personal stake there.
In your opinion, Mayor, what would be the solution to end this war, to have peace?
I do not think that NATO now is comfortable with just stopping the war at the border. Because they might not be able to control the Ukrainians from going inside deep into Russia. But you must realize that the weapons that they are using are the weapons given by the Western countries. America, Britain, France, Germany. All NATO members. So, kind of, there's a quandary here of what will happen next.
I asked you the first question, Mayor, because the former president of Russia, Dmitry Medvedev, was always saying that they've been talking, NATO been talking about partitioning of Russia when they get defeated, and Medvedev said that should that happen, it will not happen, and if that Russia is in the prospect of being defeated, they will really use nuclear weapons.
Yes, you place Putin in one corner. He might be tempted to push the nuclear button.
Yeah.
Our best bet there is the military guys in Russia. The military is the only force there that can stop him. They can stage a coup d'etat, oust him, to prevent a total nuclear war. And the generals, I think, the younger ones, are already, I'm sure that they are planning to do what should be the next move. Go to war until the kingdom come, or stop the war and
Austin.
spare the world of a spectacle of a nuclear war.
If, for example, Mayor, is ousted by a coup d'etat, and then the military will take over, will that stop the war?
Again,
If Putin, through a coup d'etat, will be ousted,
yes.
and then the generals that ousted him will take over, will it stop the war?
It will be, I think, a consensus that nobody really wants to go to war. Because if that happens, it would include, as a matter of fact, the first victim of that nuclear warheads would be Russia. Before he can take off and send the missiles, the ballistic missiles, intercontinental, ay uulanin na siya ng... So Russia will be demolished to the ground if that nuclear thing happens.
But there are recent reports, Mayor, that he has already sent his nuclear subs very close to the border of the U.S. in Hawaii, in the west part of U.S. and the east coast and the west coast are very close. The report said that he can send those nuclear warheads in seconds to any cities in America.
You are correct, Pastor, because it's very hard to set a parameter of boundaries deep inside the sea.
The sea, yeah.
You cannot say that this is a part of the 3 mile nor of the 12 economic zone, but whatever. The submarines do not obey boundaries there.
The recent reports, Mayor, is that they are only 100 miles from the nearest coast of the west and east of America. So the report said that they can send those nukes to any cities in the U.S. within seconds. And for the U.S. to be able to respond, it will take them 15 minutes if it is coming from mainland Russia.
Yes.
So that is the prospect of the fear
Correct.
that we are in the world
But
today.
the moment that the ballistic missiles are flying towards USA or UK or Germany, for that matter, or France, the submarines also of the Americans
Will also.
and the British would also send the missiles flying to Russia on short notice.
They will be able to know it, Mayor?
I think so. They have this. They have all the satellites whirling around, looking at the demography.
So,
I think if that war would come to us, to the world, it will.
what will happen to us, Mayor? Will be included?
I think it will.
It will annihilate humanity.
It will.
That
Man would become extinct.
That will be the end of us.
Yes, because nothing will grow after there are thousands of warheads more powerful than the atom bombs dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki during the Second World War.
Mayor, you are a thinker of all of these national and international events. In a scale of 1 to 10, how close are we to a nuclear war?
I think that if it's kind of you have to, if he cannot accept defeat, he loses his face.
He will really do it.
I think Putin will go for it.
So, Mayor, the atomic scientists are not wrong because they just set the atomic clock to 90 seconds before midnight.
It's
Yeah.
it's ticking
Yeah. So they set
nearer
it
here.
very close. That's
Yeah.
why I told you. So you've answered right because the scenario is if Putin is about to lose, he will really push the button. Pagdamay ba?
It will destroy environment of the world, Mother Earth, and it would create so much problem for us, nuclear fallout.
How are we prepared, Mayor, in the Philippines?
Well, we'll just sing.
Hallelujah.
Well, we can always pray.
Just pray.
For after all, there is God. So God will enlighten everybody on what to do.
We'll just pray now, Mayor, no? This is really getting dangerous.
God will just tell them, you know, if you do that, this will be the consequence. I created the world, and if you want to end it, God will say, so be it. You do not want to obey me. If you want to survive a year longer, better go to the prayer mountain and stay there. That's too far away. And besides, there is a protection of there's a
Yes.
there's a cloth of protection over.
That's right, Mayor. That's right. So that's only our refuge in this time of the events that are happening around the world.